I'm Sergeant Brian O'Connor and I work in the Transport School. On the Centenary Day we had various displays of the Transport Corps capabilities. So that included a military vintage display, the operational fleet, the heavy lift display. We had a parade which was taken by Colonel Brendan Norton, who was the Director of Transport, an open day in the workshops, so ex-service members and currently serving members and families could come in and see what we do on a day-to-day basis and how we do things. Afterwards then there was kind of a lunch in the dining hall and a driving competition with a further military display from the IMVG of their vintage fleet. History of the Transport Corps, I suppose we'll have to go back to the beginning. In January 1922, the fleet only consisted of a few lorries and a Buick saloon, which was housed in the LMS buildings at South Wall. It wasn't until between April and August of 1923 that the transport fleet had grew up to 1,143 vehicles. There was a quartermaster general appointed to take charge of road, rail and sea transport. In the August of 1922, Gormanstown, which was a former auxiliary depot, was taken over. This became essentially the HQ of Army Transport. The Army Transport Corps was officially constituted on the 1st of the 10th, 1924. And through the 30s, it was known as the Supply and Transport Service. But then in 1942, it became the Supply and Transport Corps and retained that title until the 2000s when it became the Transport Corps as we know it today.